So we're done with that. We can just go back to this. Let's make an edit of myself first. Yeah, and about the girl that was asking for me to edit her, I'm gonna say that you're in the video. You're gonna be in the video. If you see this live too late and you just notice it's new and watch it, I'm just gonna tell you that you're gonna be in the edit. So yeah, I'm just checking if there is people watching. Now I'm supposed to take this and take myself. You're not gonna be edited because you're just gonna be moving, of course. But I'm gonna be edited because I'm the one who hits the bully. Ooh, yep. Because I do hit my bullies with my fists. I do. YouTube doesn't know about it because I don't know, it's personal. I mean, my bullies do bully me because I do what I like to do. I may as well put it that way. They do bully me because of my personality and stuff and what I do for a living, like this. Of course, it's my living. Yep. They do be like, no, you can't hit your bullies. It might be your friends. Like, no. Bullies can't be fans, but only miserably. Miserability, like to make you miserable. Yeah. Do you think that's harassment more? Literally, let me just tell you that if you hit bully in front of a teacher, they will take more like their side except yours. Because that's my teacher. What is my mom playing on the freaking computer? Sounds interesting. Oh. Bro, can you just zoom in? There goes. Since we're done with that, we're just gonna keep going until we get enough of this gone. Take the heat, I don't wanna let you down. Stick around and you find out. Bro, if you're literally figuring out why did my friend say that yesterday, I don't know, that's weird. Completely weird. To be exact, I found it weird. I asked him a question, what do you mean? And he was like, the friendship. I was like, oh, you meant the friendship, but like, what do you mean? Yesterday you said about something I didn't understand. He was like, oh, I guess that's weird. Now I have green lines, bros. Listen, how the hell am I supposed to get rid? Oh yeah, I forgot. These are not noticeable, but these are because they're close to skin. Why can't IB's Paint X make this easier? Like get rid of all the green. Hello, IB's Paint. Please make sure to get this updated completely great. I don't like how is this going. Like before, I was like, no problem, I can just erase it. But I didn't know there was a feature that you can just remove the huge spots, just move them away. But I didn't know. And hi, Yuri. I'm talking about the feature on IB's Paint X. That's my first time knowing about it. Yeah. I am making an edit of the hitting me. I hit it the bully, I think. Yeah, I think that's the thing. I can show you how it goes, but I'm not finished. I just need to do this one and just go back to like back to where I just gone to. So yeah. It might be long, but it's still good. Bro, if YouTube limits it, bro, YouTube, you suck. Because there's nothing bad in it except I punched the bully for protecting my friend, bro. That's literally my best friend. My best friend is the same thing. It's the same thing that I have, but different type of clothing. She's wearing green. Green as a happy and green flag. Yeah. Okay, green flag. My best friend is a green flag, but in the same time she is a red flag. Like about her cussing is completely weird, so I'm like red flag. Like, let me just say she doesn't know how to cuss. So I just have to teach her how to cuss. So yeah, she's stupid at cussing for some reason. She knows how to speak. She doesn't know English how to speak, doesn't know how to give accent to it, but she doesn't know none. So she's a red flag and green flag. Bro, if she sees this video, bro, I'm dead. She might find out that I think of her as a red flag. Girly, when are you gonna clean the... Never mind, I'm not gonna ask a question. And if I'm gonna probably send her them on live. I might ask her if she wanna watch me edit stuff. Sorry, I can't stay long. I had to go back to study. What the hell did I just make? Okay, I was about to say something that just accidentally made it sound like bro. When I moved my finger, I was just scratching my chin for a second. I feel so uncomfortable. I feel so uncomfortable thinking about like school and stuff, and I was like, what if my bullies find my channel? What will they do to my bro? They'll probably say N-words, bro. They're racist as hell. I am literally not doubting it. I know my fans. No, not fans. I mean bullies. As for you going back to studying, okay. I'm just speaking random things that's completely true. My God, bro. Bro, I'm gonna spill some tea about my bullies, YouTube. There's no real name involved, so it's personally okay. My personality, it's fine. It's a tea. It's fresh tea. You might as well listen to it. So, when I was in the classroom, minding my business, teacher was teaching us about countries. I was like, okay, listening. Then the teacher said the N-word, and I was like, teacher, are you sure you that's okay to say? And she's like, yeah, what's wrong with it? And I said, that's an N-word. I mean, I didn't say the actual N, like the hard R. I just said that's an N-word. So she was like, hey, why are you saying N-word? Can you just say the full word? I said, no, that's actually a bad word. Horrific and abusive bad word. And I said that. And I told her that like a couple of years ago, I don't know how much, the black people were abused by white people. So yeah, that's what I told her. And she didn't even give a care, bro. She said, I'm just teaching the countries. But for some reason, somebody thought it's a good idea to name the country an N-word. Who thought that's a good idea? Listen, I respect everybody's choices, but the N-word, what the hell is wrong with you? As for my not friends, accidental word, And also, they're my bullies. I mean, I was friends with them before, but not anymore. So once upon a time, like when I was like going to school, I was like going to my classroom. Then I heard somebody say the hard R with an N. You know what I mean? It's a black man racism type ish. Like when you say to the white, well, like one the white person says to the black man the N word, bro. That's a black racism. I mean, white or black, whatever it is called. But I'm just saying because my friend, like ex friend, wasn't black, and now I'm like white person, but I respect black. I don't know how to say it, but I respect them. But when I was like child, like a little younger, I had a little darker skin than mine. Now I'm pale as a rock. But I had a darker skin, but I just got pale because my not eating much. I was supposed to eat much, but I stopped eating much. So just being skinny. I was very skinny. Would you believe me? If you would believe me, I'm still skinny, but not too thin. So I was like very pale. I mean, I did look good with pale skin. Now I just kind of have pale skin. Like when I was a baby, I had dark skin though, kind of like a little darker. I mean, it happens. My friend had that problem, and I had that problem. But because when you stop eating much, you kind of lose that color and just become a little paler, and that pale skin just stays. But if you're eating, then it kind of doesn't be pale a little bit, but you're still pale. It just kind of stayed. I don't know how to explain it, but I guess that's how it is. I don't have pictures when I was a baby, but I had literally a dark skin. Not too much. Let's say it's like that shade, like right this shade that I'm going in circles with. A little darker. Like this one. Where the circle is at. Like right there. Like wait a minute. Let me get a little closer. There you go. Right this one. That was my skin color. But a little lighter, but not too much. Just saying. Because I don't want to sound racism when I'm literally saying the truth. So yeah, that's how it was. I mean, they stopped saying the N-word, like, how many months? 2, 5, even more, I don't know. They stopped saying it, and I was like, okay, they stopped. Finally, but they just started calling me something I'm not. I wasn't saying I'm black. I was saying like I'm a little darker. But they were calling me something. I don't know what they were trying to call me, but they were. They told me that they want to ban me from YouTube, like, what the hell? You can't even ban me. You have 100 subscribers on your freaking Instagram. It's not like they're gonna listen to you and go to my channel and report me 100 times, bro. I can literally report you 30 times, like 300. and you will be banned, bro. You can't just like code to me and tell me like you're gonna get me banned on YouTube. Bro, shut your dumb ass up for saying. I'm not gonna say his name, but let's say his name starts with L and R. R is with his second name, and first name is with L. So we're just gonna call him L. So L was, I'm pretty sure, hated students by my teachers. One of my math teachers took a table and slammed it onto the ground because L pissed him off. And one time he didn't came to school because the teacher had a heart attack because of him, because what he was doing, what pissed him off so much that he had a heart attack. So yeah, and he ended up going to the hospital. Real life situation. hmm Just seeing what happened. And after a while, the teacher got better, and yeah, he's not in the hospital. He was in the hospital for 2 or 1 year, like 2 or 5 years ago. I don't know. I don't remember. But he ends up in a hospital. Thank God he's not in the hospital, but I did miss him because that teacher was the best. Like, he might be a math teacher that y'all hate math, but he is a cool ass teacher. I won't lie. I mean, y'all probably hate math, but sometimes you're gonna love it because when you get cool teachers. I mean, that's it. I'm gonna remove that much. It's not like it's noticeable. Okay, now we're going back to here. So, as for that, that's it. That's it for the story. Oh my god, I hate my life. How am I gonna say that to my wife? I don't have a wife. Why did I say wife when I don't have one? Questionable? I think yes. I'm so confused. I don't know what to do with myself. You can see that. Listen, guys, if y'all thought I was a confused child, more like yes, I'm very confused. What should I do after? Should I? No. Maybe I should. Um. What should I do? I did drink. I did eat. I didn't eat. I mean, that's enough for me. I don't need to eat much. If I get paler, then I don't know. I'm gonna go to the sun and make sure I get color. But as for that, I don't know. Bro, what do you want? What's okay? My cat is next to me. Okay. Why is she? She's smelling the blanket, then lay next to my feet. Okay. Should I show or not? Oh, I can feel her heartbeat. That's kind of cute. Kind of horrific. I don't know what to say. I'm yapping over here. Yapper, yapper. My EDG is working, bro. Maybe because I know why it's working, because I drink the, what's it called? The juice, I think. Yeah, it's juice. Makes sense. Bro, I can't see chat, bro. I'm hating the phone for my. I don't know if I hate myself or my words. I'm so tired. I don't know what to do with myself. I'm so freaking tired of myself and my life and my. Every brand friends. Vote this child. Vote. Is this a child? Yes. Who voted no? This is a. This ain't. This isn't The Walking Dead. This is Walking Head. Hey, yo. No way somebody made that as a joke. Somebody needs to lock that man up. Please lock that man up. I don't wanna. Who thought it's a good idea to somebody say that's not Walking Dead, that's a Walking Head, bro? That's nasty, bro. You know way somebody thought that's a good idea. I'm so confused, bro. With my life, with my health, I guess both. I'm confused, not gonna lie, with everything completely. I am I'm gonna make my own trend. I hope it goes viral, because if it does, then it became a trend. I hope it does. I had a first viral video. That was when I made a fake thing, like jokingly, and somebody actually thought it was real, so I was like lying to them that it was actually not what they think it is, but it's actually just fake. Like, I was doing rage bait type ish one time, then never again. Because I thought, like, I should not be rage baiter, I should be a nice person. Kind, not making people mad. They can actually have really bad things happen to them. So I was like, you know what, be nice. I don't know, I was just being myself. Let me Jana, please stop yapping. Stop yapping, bro. Fault. Yeah. Oh, now I'm gonna go grab some dark side. Now we're finished. Now we're going back. I'm actually gonna play some sounds so I can relax. I'm gonna listen to how to make an apple taste like grape. I like listening to science. It makes me fascinated.
bird stop. Bird repellent.
That's insane.
But look, right here, by methylphenolate, by weight is 26.4%.
That's exactly what we need.
Yeah. The only disturbing part is it also says that 73.6% are other ingredients. Yeah, that would be very concerning, except because this is being used for birds.
That makes it sick.
That's never classification for bird food,
Obama.
right? And, you know,
Obama.
it's good for a bird and probably good for us too, right?
Obama.
Yeah, let's go.
Weird.
All right.
Hola,
Now we're good to get
Nini
started.
from India. So yeah. Okay.
Check out the goop.
Now it's time to show my cat.
Anticlimactic.
GT cat.
That broke really easily.
Obama.
Oh no, it's
Obama.
dropping.
Weird.
Wait, what?
Why does it sound the same?
Wait, what?
Now is my thought process like
I thought it was gonna be a clear
Obama
solution, but it's like this
for some
white,
reason.
gooey liquid.
Because of the sound.
This is yeah, it's not something
It's
I
weird.
expected, but I mean, just gotta keep going.
Yeah, just run with it.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Obama. Like if it says O, then Obama, then it might
And I'll pour
be
some
the
out.
same,
that
but it
grape
says
flavor is
Obama
strong.
without an O.
Look at that goo. 40 mils, I think. That's
it.
That's all we need. Now we need another beaker.
Now that we have finished that.
And distilled water. We just need enough to cover the apple, in theory, but I'm just, no. 2 liters is easy.
Now we're gonna add my fan too, but let me just add my friend.
All we have to do now is
wearing
add
the same clothes as me
into the water.
Let me just.
It feels like I'm just adding paint into water.
Are you sure?
I was listening to Riff. If you couldn't tell,
It did say that it was food safe.
You can see it by the other character.
All in there. Just gotta stir it now. And hypothetically, what I'm hoping I'm making is a 0.5% solution of methylphenolate. So the 26.4% concentrate just got diluted by about 50 times. Doesn't look good. I'm not gonna pretend. I'm not gonna pretend that it looks good. Kind of just looks like a beaker full of milk.
Kinda.
Look, it really just looks like milk. Do you think it tastes like milk? Let's see. Whoa. Just tastes like grape, but really strong, and kind of burns your tongue. Okay. So, I think we're basically ready to go. And according to the patent, all we need to do is take our beautiful Fuji apple and dunk it for 1 minute. Wait, look. Oh, that's interesting. Feels so smooth on the surface of the apple. It's like slimy. Either way, what we have here is supposed to be, I think I mentioned before, a 0.5% solution of the methylphenolate. And in theory, it should be soaking through the skin of the apple. That's the theory behind this.
Do you know why it's 1 minute?
No, just to moderate how much methylphenolate actually gets through. If too much gets through, maybe the flavor becomes too strong. Like now, when we realize that it's 12 seconds over. Okay, stop. Okay, and according to the recipe, he's got gotta leave the apple here for one entire day.
That's it?
For now. It's interesting. Yesterday, it definitely was letting off some grape smell. Whereas now, I can only barely smell it. So I think that means that it's soaked in through the skin and it's inside the apple now. But either way, what they say now is we have to take this apple and just put it in the fridge for 24 hours. And I'm not entirely sure what that does, but I think it just probably gives more time for the grape flavor to fully infuse and distribute itself in the apple. Okay, time to see what it looks like. We can get rid of this little sign. And again, it looks exactly the same. Just like a regular apple. Oh, it smells like grape. Definitely smells like grape. Okay. It's finally here. It's finally ready. And I guess now I just have to taste it and see if we successfully made apple. I think it worked.
Really?
I mean, it's a grape flavor.
How strong is the grape flavor?
It's like, it's mild. Like, that's what's nice about it. It's just a regular Fuji apple, but it has a hint of grape along with it. It's interesting.
Does it taste chemically a bit?
No.
That's insane.
You want to try some?
I'm down. Alrighty. Whoa. This is delicious. It tastes like Kool-Aid and an apple mixed together, like grape Kool-Aid and an apple mixed together. This is crazy.
So I think this turned out way better than I thought. It's legitimately good.
I'm impressed.
I'm just hoping that the bird stop we used to make it is not actually dangerous. So just to be clear, I don't encourage anybody to buy bird stop and to make graples with them because it's food grade, but it's still, this was still all technically done at our own risk. So who knows? We made a nice grape apple, but we might all die from it.
Wait, what?
Pronađem boju koju volim, želim da traje, jer sve color viv, hrani i neguje obojanu kosu.
So in the end, this all turned out way better than we thought, and still, I'm genuinely surprised how good the apple tasted. The only sad part is that after filming this, we were able to fully confirm that the grapple is completely dead, and there are no future plans to produce it. What isn't sad, though, and is in fact exciting, is learning something new. And this is why I'm very happy to introduce the sponsor of this video, Brilliant.org. If you haven't already heard of Brilliant, it's a learning platform with tons of interactive lessons in things like math, data science, and computer science, and I think they teach them in a really fun way. This is because all of their lessons are fully interactive, which makes them feel a lot more like playing a game, and this definitely makes it way better and a lot more interesting than just watching a video or reading a textbook. What I also think is really nice is that all of their lessons and courses are chopped up into many small sections, which makes it possible to learn and progress on Brilliant without any major time commitment. For example, personally, I only go on whenever I get the chance, or when I have 5 minutes here or there, but I've still been able to complete several courses. Just recently, I also started a course called Exploring Data Visually, which covers many ways to analyze and interpret data and how to visually present it in things like charts and graphs. This is honestly something that I've never really thought too much about, but so far I've already learned a lot and I've been really enjoying it, especially the case studies that they included. But with all that being said, I've been really enjoying Brilliant, and if you want a fun and simple way to learn something new, I definitely recommend checking them out. Right now, you can also get everything that Brilliant has to offer for free for a full 30 days by going to brilliant.org/NileBlue or by clicking the link in the description. On top of this, by using this link, the first 200 people will get 20% off an annual premium subscription. Done.
Bez obzira šta i kako jedeš, dobra klopa zaslužuje Pepsi.
Novo Efaklar AZ gel krema. Azilajinska, salicilna i hijaluronska kiselina. Koriguje nepravilnosti za 7 dana. Umanjuje znakove starenja. Novo Efaklar AZ gel krema.
About 2 years ago, I became convinced that there was a way to turn cotton balls into edible and hopefully tasty cotton candy. At first, this idea seemed a bit ridiculous, but I knew that it should have been possible. This is because cotton, even though it doesn't seem like it at all, is technically entirely sugar. The only problem is that all this sugar, or more specifically glucose, is trapped in something called cellulose. As cellulose, it acts like a completely different material, and we can use it to make things like cotton balls and clothing. At its core, though, it's all just sugar. So, what I dreamed of doing was breaking down cotton balls back into sugar and then turning them into candy. I didn't just want to make any candy, though, and I specifically wanted to make cotton candy. I wanted to make literal cotton candy. To get started, the first thing that I had to do was figure out how to even do it. I had to come up with a way to break down the cellulose back into sugar, and my first idea was to use an enzyme. This was because I had already used an enzyme for another project where I turned toilet paper into drinkable alcohol, and it had worked really well. For that one, I used an enzyme called cellulase, and I was able to break down toilet paper, which is also entirely cellulose. This gave me a solution of sugar, which I fermented to alcohol using yeast, and then I distilled it to make my toilet paper moonshine.
Jedva da ih vidiš. Za samo 4 nedelje.
It's not pretty easy to edit on this phone. I'm
Novi
gonna
Nivea
edit on a different
luminous
phone
serum.
later.
And then I distilled it to make my toilet paper moonshine. The whole process ended up being surprisingly efficient, and I figured it was the best place to start. The only issue was that the enzyme I'd used wasn't pure, and it was mixed with maltodextrin and cornstarch. Both of these were sugars, but they weren't fermentable by yeast, so none of it turned into alcohol, and they didn't at all interfere with that project. However, for this one, I couldn't have any extra sugar floating around. It would be almost impossible to separate it from the sugar that I made, and it would just be a huge mess. I had to find somewhere to buy the pure enzyme, and the easiest and cheapest source seemed to be Alibaba. It was pretty easy to go on, find a listing, and order the enzyme, but actually getting what I wanted turned out to be a huge pain. The first and biggest problem was that I never knew if it was actually going to be sugar free. I always asked, and they would confirm that it was, but it never seemed fully believable. Also, the Canadian government kept seizing the packages and holding them for months. This one, by far, had to be the worst one that I got. Customs had apparently torn it open and repackaged it by just throwing it into a loose plastic bag. It was also brown, which immediately told me that it wasn't very pure, and I could tell there was sugar in it because it was sticky when I touched it. It took months, but I eventually got one that seemed decent, and it of course arrived as ginseng extract. It was an off white, but still pure powder, and it didn't seem to have any fillers or sugars. When I tried it on the cotton, though, it just didn't work very well. I think the enzyme itself was good quality, and the cotton was just really stubborn. I knew that it would be a bit harder to break down than toilet paper, but I didn't expect it to be as bad as it was. I was never really able to do it, and after trying for a while, I basically gave up. About a year later, though, I got really inspired for some reason, and I decided to attempt this project again. I read every single book, article, or paper that I could find, and I slowly put something together. My biggest challenge was that I didn't want to have to use any specialized equipment or weird chemicals, and I wanted it to be as simple as possible. I also ideally wanted the sugar that I made to taste good, or at the very least, not poison me. After about a week, I ended up coming up with something that I thought could work. Instead of using enzyme to break down the cotton, I would just use acid, and the process seemed to be surprisingly simple. So I decided to just jump right into it, and I picked up an entire
Bro, I
bag of
have
cotton balls.
free
I went
pro,
with the large
bro.
ones just
Ain't
because
no
I
way.
felt like it, and it looked like a lot,
Oh
but it
yeah, I
was
probably
only
don't have
about
pro on
77
this.
grams. Now, the next main ingredient that I needed
How
was
did I
some
not notice people
98%
typing, bro?
concentrated sulfuric acid.
Wait a minute.
For all this cotton.
Wait a minute. No, it's just the one person. Wait a minute. No, it's just the one person. Yep. Just checking if I missed something. Now we're going to watch what we were watching.
Plate vučalne pini, tu su nudli potravkini, vidi kako živim u moment, jelo koje ima pet.
For all this cotton, I calculated that I needed 230 grams of it, and I poured it directly onto 70 grams of ice. This almost immediately caused most of the ice to melt, and when it was all added, I turned on the stirring. What I was doing here was just diluting the sulfuric acid and bringing the concentration down from 98% to 75. I also used ice to do this because it generated a lot of heat, and the whole solution was now probably around 60°C or 140 Fahrenheit. If I used regular water instead of ice, it probably would have violently boiled and splashed, which wouldn't have been ideal. But anyway, when it looked like it was all mixed, I turned off the stirring and I let it cool down to room temperature. About 30 minutes later, it was good to go, and I pulled out the stir bar. It was now time to add the cotton, and I started with just one ball. I then poked it around a bit, and it almost immediately started falling apart. In general, cotton's usually pretty tough, and I thought that it was interesting to see it just disintegrate. It only took a minute for it to become a little gooey blob, and I felt that I was ready to add the rest. So, I carefully loaded in a small handful, and it looked like it was barely gonna fit. At first, this was a bit concerning, because this was only a small fraction of what I had to add. With just a bit of poking around and stirring, though, it slowly disappeared into the acid. I then continued adding the rest of the cotton, and I was honestly a bit worried that it wasn't going to be able to eat the whole bag. Now, as far as I know, there was no major reaction going on here, and the cotton was just getting dissolved. I wasn't able to find much info about it, but it seems like the sulfuric acid was probably just interacting with the cellulose. It was forming a complex around their hydroxyl groups, which normally help the fibers stay tightly packed together. This was causing them to separate and fall apart and dissolve into the acid. It really didn't seem like it was going to work, but I was able to fit the whole bag. Now, at this point, things were looking pretty good, but to fully dissolve the cotton, I had to warm it up a bit. So I dropped it into a hot water bath at 50°C, and I let it sit there for 30 minutes. When it was done, it looked like all the cotton had disappeared, and I pulled it out of the bath. I then poured it into 456 milliliters of boiling hot water. This diluted the acid even more, and it brought it down from the 75% that I had before to 27%. I then washed out the beaker with a bit of water to make sure that I transferred everything, and I added a thermometer. I now had to keep this at 85°C, and even though it didn't look like much was happening, it was the most important step. In the other one, the cotton had just been dissolved, but here, it was actually getting chopped up. The long cellulose fibers were being attacked by the acid and water, and they were breaking the bonds between the sugar units. This type of reaction is called a hydrolysis reaction, and they were breaking it down into smaller and smaller pieces. I had to keep it running like this for 2 hours, and in that time, it should fully break down into glucose. When it was done, it looked about the same, and I poured all of this into an even larger beaker. This one was surrounded with ice to help cool things down, but it was still going to take a while. So, in the meantime, I prepared something else that I needed. I went and got some of my food-grade calcium carbonate, which is basically just chalk.
Hi,
I would
welcome
be
to my
using this to
stream.
neutralize all the sulfuric acid, but I couldn't just throw it in as a powder. I had to make it into a slurry, and based on my
Freak, I just
calculations,
realized I don't
I
have
needed
to
about
like
245
zoom in.
grams. So I measured that out and added 125
Goodness.
mils of water. I then
To
stirred
make
it
it
around, and
smooth, I
after
just
a
had
few
to
minutes, it
put
was good
ease
to go.
in.
When everything eventually cooled down to around room temperature, I started adding the goopy chalk. It reacted almost immediately with the sulfuric acid, and it was releasing a lot of CO2 gas. This was all being generated as the acid was being neutralized, and the acid itself was turning into calcium sulfate.
I don't need
The only problem
those.
was that I had to add the chalk in small amounts, or else it would bubble out of the beaker. This was a very slow process, and it was going okay, until it eventually got a bit too thick.
I hate
This happened
when
because the calcium sulfate
CapCut doesn't put it
insoluble in
uneven. That's
water,
making me pissed.
and it was all separating out. So to fix this, I occasionally added some extra water to loosen things up, and it seemed to help. I also added some more water to the chalk, and I slowly added
Now
the
that I
rest
have
of it.
edited that, now I just have to take this and just do that. Now
At
the
some
next
point,
part
it
is
really started looking way too much like iced coffee, and it was a bit scary how much I wanted to taste it. That would have been a horrible idea, though, and it would have tasted absolutely awful. But anyway, I was eventually done adding the chalk, and when I tested the pH, it told me that it was roughly neutral. What I had now was hopefully a mixture of calcium sulfate and dirty sugar water, and the next step was to filter it.
Opet mi skočio račun za mobil.
Da, i meni su digli cene. Šta se dešava? Retrogradni Merkur šta vam je? On upravlja komunikacijom i tehnologijom, ali...
Treba biti strpljiv.
Ali kad Jupiter uđe u Vodoliju, financije će da procvetaju. Šta nam radi kosmos? A da skoknete do A1?
Ista cena tvog postpaida sve dok traje ugovorna obaveza. Izaberi svoju tarifu već od 899 dinara mesečno i dođi u A1 shop po posebne pogodnosti. A1.
I hate when it doesn't stop when I want it to stop.
I was only able to add what looked like half of it, and I was gonna have to do this in 2 batches. After loading up as much as I could, I turned on the vacuum.
I want to beat the shit out of this phone.
Pulling out the water. This was all being drained into a flask below the filter, and I was getting some nice and clear, dark liquid. When the stuff in the filter looked dry, I added some water. I then mixed it around, and I was doing this to wash out any sugar that might have been stuck in the calcium sulfate. This was then all pulled through, and I washed it a second time. Now I had to deal with the other half of the stuff, so I washed the filter, and I added everything that was left in the beaker. It was all just barely able to fit, and I turned on the vacuum. Just like before, I pulled it all through, and I washed it twice with some water. In the flask below, I was left with a bunch of dark liquid. This was all hopefully some dirty sugar water, but up until now, I had no idea if I had actually made any sugar. To figure this out, though, it was actually pretty easy, and I just had to use a glucose test strip. This is normally used to check for sugar in pee, and I was a bit worried that it would tell me that there was nothing. However, it actually gave me some really good results. It told me that there was for sure glucose in there, and that there was probably a decent amount. The only problem was that it was still full of impurities, side products, and leftover acid, and what I had to do next was try and clean it up a bit. To do this, I figured the easiest way was to use something called a mixed ion exchange resin. At first, this might sound a bit fancy, and it kind of is, but it's actually super simple to use. It's also commonly used to purify aquarium water, so it's pretty cheap and quite easy to buy. I got all my resin from Amazon, and all I did was put it in this plastic tube. Now, to clean the dirty sugar solution, I just had to pour it through. As it passed over the resin, it pulled out anything that was charged, and this included things like acid and salts. The sugar itself, though, was a neutral molecule, and it shouldn't have been affected by it. It even got rid of some of the color, and after just one
Why did you do that, Jenna?
it was looking a lot lighter.
Wait a minute.
I then swapped out the beaker for another container, and I passed it all through again. I was doing this just to really make sure that I pulled out as
I'm
much
still
junk
live,
as
though.
possible.
No, I have to go back. Where? So confusing.
When it was done, I washed the resin with some extra water, and at this point, it should have been relatively pure. Besides the obvious orange color, there should have been practically no salts or acid. However, the main issue now was that there was still way too much water, and I had to get rid of most of it. So, after pouring it all into this large dish, I threw it into a food dehydrator. This is normally meant for things like peppers or fruit, and it's basically just a warm box with a fan. I then ran it until I felt that it was low enough, which ended up taking about 35 hours. After that, I took it out, and I poured it all into a beaker. It was just slightly over 400 mils, and now that it was more concentrated, it was a bit darker. It was also slightly acidic, and it had a bit of a weird smell. This unfortunately meant that I had to go back to the ion exchange resin. This time, though, I did it in a different tube that I made from a water bottle. This one had a valve at the bottom that I could close, so everything wouldn't pass through right away. I also included a bunch of activated charcoal along with the resin, which I was hoping would help with the smell and color. After everything was added, I stirred it around, and then I let it sit there.
Mi idea black and white deodorants. Šta ja imam od toga? Bez leka, zaštita kože i duže nego ikad zaštita od znojenja. Otkri novu 72-časovnu zaštitu sa Nivea Black and White. Koža je za uživanje u životu. Nivea za kožu.
My best friend is
I
shorter
wasn't
than
sure
me,
how long I had to
so
leave it,
you're
and based
shorty.
on almost nothing, I decided that 5 hours
My best friend is a
was probably
shorty.
good. Over that time, I just randomly stirred it
I
every
mean,
so
it's true
often,
that she is
and
short,
it did
though.
get noticeably lighter. When it hit the 5-hour mark, I opened the valve, and I sprayed everything out. I washed everything with a bit of extra water, and it was now hopefully cleaner. The only thing that I didn't like was that it looked a bit cloudy. To fix this, I tried pouring it through some cotton and sea light, but I don't think that did much of anything. In any case, what I had now was still way better, and it no longer had a weird smell. It basically just smelled like water, and it also wasn't acidic. The only issue was that there was still way too much water, so I put it back into the dehydrator. I then ran it until it looked like it was almost all gone. When I felt that it was done, I pulled it out and I put it into an even smaller container. This one was made of silicone, and if I had made any sugar, I was hoping that it wouldn't stick to it. After that, I put it back in and I ran it until it looked like the volume stayed constant. When it eventually looked like it was done, I took it out. I was really hoping to see some nice and crunchy sugar, but that of course wasn't the case. Only this part in the corner kind of looked like it was solid. I thought that maybe it was just having a hard time crystallizing, so I covered it and I put it in the freezer for a couple days. When I took it out, I thought that it was looking really promising. However, it wasn't. It was all goopy and honestly a bit disappointing, but I was still kind of happy. Even though it wasn't nice and crunchy, the texture more or less confirmed that it was sugar. There weren't very many other things that I could have made here that would be sticky and gooey like this. I wasn't exactly sure why it wasn't completely solid, but I figured it was probably because I just didn't dry it enough. There was still some water in there, making it all sticky, and unfortunately, I had to get it out. If I tried putting this into a cotton candy machine, it would be an absolute mess. To dry it, I put together this little setup, which is just an upside down tray on a hot plate with a baking sheet on top. I then scraped off all the sugar, which totally stuck to the silicone, and I transferred it all here. I slowly turned up the heating and I brought it up to just above 100°C to boil off the water. I let it bubble like this for a while, and after several minutes, it was probably pretty dry. I still wasn't done though, because even with it dry, I knew that it still wouldn't work to make cotton candy. This was because I had already done a few basic tests using pure glucose, and it had completely failed. I had no idea why, but it only seemed to work when the glucose was partially caramelized. So, I slowly raised the temperature of the hot plate and I brought it up to 185°C. Under this high heat, the sugar was hopefully caramelizing, which actually meant that it was repolymerizing. This was basically the exact opposite of what I did to make the sugar, and I was rebuilding them back into slightly longer chains. It would still be edible though, and it would never go back to being like cotton. My only issue here was that I had no idea how long I had to heat it for, and I was also really afraid of burning it. I ended up letting it go until I felt that it looked good, which took about an hour. I then pulled it off the hot plate, and I waited for it to cool down to room temperature. After half an hour, it looked exactly the same, and for a second, I thought that it was still all goopy. When I poked at it, though, it was completely solid, and it also looked and felt like candy. I was pretty happy with how it had turned out, and it was a lot more sugar than I needed. It was also a lot more than I ever expected to get, especially after my failures with the enzyme. However, the yield was technically kind of crappy, and I only got about 20 grams. In theory, I probably should have gotten at least 50. This meant that I had lost a lot along the way, and I honestly have no idea where it went. I'm thinking that a lot of it might have gotten trapped in the exchange resin or in all the calcium sulfate. Or maybe, in general, the process just wasn't super efficient. Either way, I never expected this process to be amazing, and 20 grams was more than enough. I was also honestly still kind of amazed that I had even managed to get any sugar at all. Even though I had done this all myself, I still thought that it was hard to believe that this used to be a bag of cotton balls. One thing, though, was that I still wasn't 100% sure that this was sugar. I mean, I had tested it with a glucose syrup, but I felt that there was only one way to fully confirm it. Up until now, I had completely resisted tasting it, and I was really anxious to try it. If there was anything else in there, it would probably taste really bad or sour, and I was honestly kind of expecting that to happen. Okay, so I guess I'll just taste one of the little pieces. It tastes pretty good. It's just caramelized sugar. That's it. That's my whole review. Done. Okay, so it was actually a lot better than I expected, and it didn't even have a hint of a weird flavor. But anyway, I guess it was now time to try and turn it into cotton candy. To do this, I figured that all I needed was a cotton candy machine, and I bought one from Amazon. Now, in theory, based on the instructions, all I had to do was wait for it to heat up and drop in my sugar. So I waited for about 5 or 10 minutes, and I nervously took out my precious little pieces. I then dropped some in, and I turned on the spinner. I was really hoping to see some nice puffs of cotton candy, but that didn't happen. All it did was shoot out a sad brown liquid. When I saw this, I was honestly pretty disappointed, and I wasn't sure why it failed. It just shot it all out. It just shot it out as liquid sugar. Based on my small tests, I was really expecting it to just work. But then again, I'm not some sort of cotton candy master. Cut. It didn't work. See, that's what I feared. I ended up trying it a few more times, and it just never seemed to work. At first, I had no idea why it was failing like this, but I started thinking that the melting point of my candy was just too low. If that were the case, it might just be having a hard time freezing as it floated through the air. This machine was designed for table sugar, or sucrose, which melts at 186°C, but glucose melts around 146°C, and my sugar was probably even lower. I was hoping that this would have been fixed by caramelizing it, but I guess I didn't caramelize it enough. I think it just has to be more caramelized. So, I scraped off all the sugar from my sad and failed attempts, and I put it back onto the silicone baking sheet. I then heated it up again to about 200°C. I had no idea how long I had to cook it for, and again, I was a bit afraid of burning it. Over 20 minutes, it darkened a bit more, and when I eventually felt that it was good, I took it off the heat. I then let it cool down like before, and I broke it into a bunch of smaller pieces. Okay, so I was now ready to try again, and I was kind of expecting the same results. In theory, the caramelization should have fixed things, but I was a bit scared because if it didn't, I was kind of out of ideas. There was only one way to find out, though, and I dropped some pieces into the machine. I then turned it on, and now I just had to wait. In the meantime, I got ready by climbing up on my little ladder. It was a little awkward, but I found that reaching over the camera was the only decent way to film this. I was half expecting it to almost immediately just shoot out as goo again, but that didn't seem to be happening. In fact, it didn't seem to be doing much of anything. It's taking a lot longer. I kept waiting, and I was a bit worried that it would just burn or something, but then there was suddenly a bunch of nice fluff. I then quickly used the stick, and I tried collecting it, and it was actually working. The first thing that I noticed, though, was that it looked a lot thicker than regular cotton candy. I mean, it was all yellow, and the machine sounded like it was dying, but it was still pretty exciting. When it eventually looked like it wasn't making anymore, I turned off the machine. Oh my god. Okay, so apparently it had worked, and even though it was probably the saddest and most pathetic cotton candy I'd ever seen, I was still really happy with it. I also really wanted to know how it tasted. I mean, it tastes like regular cotton candy, just a lot more burnt. It's not bad, but it's also not good. The only major issue with it, besides looking and tasting like industrial grade cotton candy, was that it didn't last very long. Even though it was able to solidify, it seemed like it wanted to melt. In just a few minutes, it had shrank quite a bit, and it had gotten a lot harder. All the work, all of my work to get this. Before it completely died, though, I broke off a piece of it, and I compared it to a cotton ball. In my opinion, they were shockingly similar, and the cotton candy kind of just looked like a really used and dirty one. But anyway, in the end, I guess I was successful at turning cotton balls into cotton candy. I mean, it wasn't the most efficient transformation, and the quality wasn't exactly the best, but it was still a lot better than I expected, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. For now, though, I think I'm done messing around with sugar, and I'm gonna focus on some other projects, like turning plastic gloves into hot sauce. Okay, so now is when I would normally have a sponsorship, but I've decided not to have one for this video. Instead, I want to take the time to announce that I'm finally selling t-shirts again. The first shirt is the original design that I sold years ago, and there have been a lot of people wondering where it went. The other one is a new design, and personally, I like how it's nice and discreet. Right now, these shirts will only be available for 2 weeks, and I'm not sure if or when they'll be available again. So, if you want to pick one up, or just support the channel, there's a link in the description. My goal in general with this is to be more self-sustaining and to not rely on sponsorships anymore, but I guess we'll see how this goes. As usual, a big thanks goes out to all my supporters on Patreon. Everyone who supports me can see all my new videos at least 24 hours before I post them to YouTube. You'll also get access to all the older videos that I had to take down, and if you support me with $5 or more, you'll get your name at the end like you see here.
Za one kojima slatko mora biti super glatko. Tu je nova linolada Gold Creamy. Ti biraš jedna
big back, big back, big back, big
This
back.
video has been sponsored by Nebula. Over the years, I've made a lot of videos where I turn completely inedible things into food, and some of my favorite transformations have been things like turning plastic gloves into hot sauce and paint thinner into cherry soda. Something that I've been always wanting to do, though, is to try and turn styrofoam into cinnamon candy, and just like all of my other transformations, this might not immediately make sense. However, at least in theory, it should be possible, and this is because styrofoam is made from a plastic known as polystyrene, which in turn is built from a bunch of smaller molecules known just as styrene. On its own, styrene is kind of an interesting chemical, but what I think is more interesting is that it looks surprisingly similar to this, which is the naturally occurring chemical that gives cinnamon its smell and flavor. The only difference is that this cinnamon flavor, known as cinnamaldehyde, has this small little part at the top, but other than that, it's pretty much the same, and it's really weird that such a small change can make it go from being a potential carcinogen to tasting like cinnamon. But either way, the moment that I saw this, I felt that it had to be possible to turn one into the other, and the plan that I came up with in my head was relatively simple. All I had to do was get some styrofoam and somehow break it down back into styrene, use some chemistry to turn it into cinnamon flavor, and then use that to make some hopefully tasty cinnamon candy. The only unfortunate part was that doing this in real life was going to be a lot more difficult, and I wasn't even sure if it would work. But as usual, I figured there was only one way to find out. But anyway, to get started, the first thing that I was going to need was some styrofoam. And just by chance, when I was cleaning things up earlier in the week, I found this entire bag of cups. I actually have no idea where I got them from or why I had them, but I definitely wasn't using them.
Jędrzej, mam pasy za ruczykiem, okej?
Okay.
Kind of perfect for this project. So I decided to just go ahead and use them. And the first thing that I was going to have to do was get all the air out of them. This because styrofoam in general is actually mostly air, and even though this cup looked and felt solid, it was at least around 95% empty space. All of this empty space actually makes it a pretty good insulator, and it makes it work really well to keep things hot or cold, but in my case, this extra volume was a problem. So I was going to have to get rid of it, which was thankfully pretty easy, and all I had to do was get this large dish, and to add a bunch of acetone nail polish remover. I then went and got the cup, and I carefully lowered it in, and almost immediately, I could see that it was releasing a bunch of small air bubbles. It was also making a really nice fizzing noise, which I thought was kind of satisfying, and as I kept pushing on it, it was slowly getting eaten by the acetone. Then, over the next 15 seconds, the entire cup gradually disappeared, and eventually, I was left with this little puddle of goo. At this point, what I had was also clearly nothing like the styrofoam that I started with, but what I think is interesting is that no reaction had actually taken place. It was still exactly the same thing as styrofoam, which is made from a plastic called polystyrene, that it was no longer puffed up with air. This because the acetone is able to partially dissolve the polystyrene. And what I had to do next, one by one, but I quickly realized that doing it like this was going to take a really long time, and I instead started throwing in a bunch at once. What was nice was that they still seemed to melt away just as quickly as the single cup, and again, I wait for the acetone to evaporate, and after a few days, this was what I was left with. On the outside, it looked like it was nice and dry, but what was kind of annoying was that on the inside, it was still pretty soft and gooey. This told me that if I ever wanted it to fully dry, I was going to have to start breaking it apart, and this was thankfully pretty easy. It also had a really interesting texture, and in my opinion, it kind of felt like pulling apart a fresh quesadilla.
What is that though?
When I eventually felt that I'd split it apart enough, I let it dry for a few hours, and then I came back to it and split it apart again. I then repeated this process a few more times and left it overnight to fully dry, and in the morning, I was left with some nice and dry chunks of polystyrene. The only problem was that they were still way too big, and what I really wanted was some nice powder, so I just dumped them all into a blender. I then turned it on to the max setting, and they all immediately started getting torn apart. It was also kind of working, even better than I thought it would, and after just a couple of minutes, it already looked like it was a decent powder. The only part that I really didn't like was that I started seeing some acetone vapor condensing on the sides of the blender. I really thought that all of the acetone was gone, but clearly there was still some left over, and this was both annoying and potentially really dangerous. This is because if there was enough left, it could cause it all to gum up again, and in theory, it could also ignite and potentially cause the blender to explode. So I made the decision to pretty much immediately stop it, and what I had to do next was take a closer look at it. I had to be sure that stopping it early didn't leave a bunch of huge chunks in it, and it was actually way better than I expected. It was also pretty much exactly what I was hoping for, and it was just a nice pile of powdered polystyrene, and it definitely took up way less volume than all of the cups that I started with. Most importantly, though, it was now in a form that was actually usable, and after over a week of waiting, it was finally time to try and turn this plastic into some hopefully amazing cinnamon flavor. So I decided to just immediately start, and the first thing that I was going to have to do was break down all of this polystyrene back into just styrene. Based on a little research, this also didn't seem too difficult, and I was able to find a few people on YouTube who had already done it, and I even found this really useful article that outlined the process in detail. This article also suggested using a catalyst called magnesium oxide, which I thought was kind of interesting, and I really wanted to try it out. So I decided to just go for it, and the first step was to get a flask and to carefully pour in all of my crispy polystyrene powder. Then on top of this, I added 65 grams of magnesium oxide, which, as I said before, was supposed to act as a catalyst. Theoretically, it probably would have been a good idea to mix it in, but I didn't really think that it was necessary, and honestly, I was feeling a bit lazy. So instead, I just quickly cleaned up the flask and got rid of any loose powder, and I started putting together the rest of the setup. To do this, I first added a short path condenser to the middle neck, and I sealed the other two with some stoppers because I wasn't going to need them. Then, at the other end of the condenser, I attached a vacuum adapter and a flask, and with all of this in place, the setup was very close to being done. The only other thing that I had to do was put a heating mantle under the reaction flask and to attach some water lines to the condenser, and at this point, it was good to go. So, when I felt that I was ready, I just cranked up the heating and I waited for it to get nice and hot.
Oli se može spremati na mnogo načina, ali zna se, tvoj je uvek
Oh, hi. What's up?
voli, kako ko voli.
Hi, Russ.
Nemam ni
Wait,
mama drži časove
did I
japanskog.
just...
Sestra snimati.
Okay, just Russ. Okay, I know that trend. I also joined it. Okay. Let me just delete that. I don't know what did I just see something? Let's just act like I didn't see that. Don't you sound good? What happened? Nothing. I'm just tired, I guess. I sound normally. This is how I sound, but sometimes I just fake how I sound, just like making my sound like happy, but I'm not. Never. I'm never happy, okay? If you say so. This is completely pissing me off because the phone is like a little laggy and it doesn't put me where I want it to. But my phone that I'm watching on, where you type on like the chat, it works perfectly fine. Like it's good for editing, but for streaming, it doesn't. Like, you know what I mean? Like, see what I mean? It doesn't wanna. Like, if I just do this, it's just late. My finger is very fast, but okay, that's no good. Yeah, that's what I noticed. So I just had to fix how this one's going. I noticed it's not no good when it's like acting like this. So I was like, you know what? I will try to make it good. If it ends up good, it's good. Then it's just good. See what I mean? It doesn't want to go where I want it. There you go. Now I just have to like get rid of this and put ease. I will make it faster, but later. Now I just have to cut this off. See what I mean? Like it doesn't want to go where I want it to. This is starting to piss me off, not gonna lie. I just want to finish this. See the background? This is what I want, bro. Give me what I want. But the process looks good. Yeah. But at the same time, it's pissing me off completely. So I have to do this. Stop it. Stop. Look good, bro. Bro, I'm gonna slap my phone so freaking hard that it's gonna see heaven in 2 minutes. 2 seconds have memory. Or 2 minutes. Bro. Oh no. Stop. Oh no. It's pissing me off. There you go. Since I'm finished with that, now I just have to see the front. So it's supposed to like go like here. Then this. But this is supposed to go a little bit like this. Huh? What? Yeah, it's 1 second. Freak. I haven't think about it. Let me just give me a second. I'm gonna put it over here. I'm gonna see the process. If it doesn't look good, I'm promising you this phone is gonna see heaven. Actually, this is supposed to look over there and not that side. Stop messing with me! Stop, bro. I'm gonna say I'm flying, bro. But I use KineMaster. KineMaster? I don't know what that means, but cool. Now the difficult part is this. Now what I have to do is boom. Oh, damn. I'm supposed to punch him, but it's gonna be a little more zoomed in. Girl, how do you download the sound? There we go, I have the sound. I mean, you just... I mean, that's easy. Just screen record it. Okay, you don't sound great. You just
Dlaczego Ai dyrekcji Majmune znam dobrze.
Maimune!
Brawo.
I feel great when I say it to my brother. I hate him so much. Now I'm craving sweets. Remember to know that I was angry, bro. Don't judge it too much. Yeah. But until you see how it looks like. I'm judging it so hard, bro. I'm judging it. I'm judging. I'm judging. Bro, why can't you see? Bro? Let this guy see what's happening, bro. Bro, where can I put this guy, bro? Don't judge it, bro. Bro, where am I supposed... Am I supposed to look it? I'm gonna put him right over there, bro. I'm judging it so much. I'm judging. I'm judging it. 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 Okay, great. Not great for my mental health. How much I'm pissed. I'm mad as hell. I'm mad as hell, bro. It's not working as I want it to work. So I just make them smaller. So bro, they're gonna be cut off, bro, as it closer. So I'm just gonna cut this piece, and this piece, so it won't see the logo over there. Stop, bro. I have Pro, but for some reason I can't have this on this. It's the same email, the same freaking Pro. Give me the freaking Pro, bro. I need CapCut to give me Pro because this is kind of silly. Do not mind how I put this, but I put it as this. As a joke. Bro, see what I mean? The face gets cut off, bro. I can't even show the face. I'm gonna put it next to this person. I'm gonna put it a little lower just to see them. Like, if you can't see them, then they're completely useless. Okay, just put next to the cupboard. What do you mean by cupboard? I'm gonna put it like this. Should I put it like this? Bro, look at this girl, bro. I like the how I placed her, bro. She's stupid as hell, bro. This is how I react, bro. The girl behind, bro. I don't know what it means, but nice. It means nothing. I mean, just to edit. Until now, we're just gonna change the sound after we're finished. It means nothing. Let's hope it looks good, but if it doesn't, I'm probably gonna explode. I'm getting pissed. It doesn't show me the messages when I look at when I'm doing stuff. It doesn't show me the message for some reason. It did show it like when you were like saying something. All right, but it's perfect as I said. Don't judge it too much. You will see, bro. You will see. It will look beautiful. I'm judging. I'm not finished. It might have that much. Take off the slow sound. Now I will do more than just. Now we're going back to my sound where I first started. So just for very much. Okay, it looks good as much as I can see. Wait, I can fix this. It looks good. What was that? Eek. It was supposed to be a punch, but never mind. It looked like I was trying to do something, bro. That's blood. It's supposed to be blood, but it looks pink. See what I mean? Okay, cut this out. Cut it out. Put it back. Why can't you cut what I want? Okay, I'm gonna cut this piece out. Sacrifice. It's just not. It's just blood. It might be ink. POE just thrown it blood. Okay, now we're just going back. to check it out again. See if it's good. It's much better. Please be good. Please be good. Please be good. I just think about what you think. It's probably like, please be good. Please be good. Please be good. Like, listen. See what I have? For some reason, this is what I mean. This is weird as hell. For some reason, it's like this. I'm not gonna judge. You know, yep, you know what I think. Bro, in my brain is like, please be good. If you don't be good, I'm probably gonna explode in 2 pieces, bro. Please be good. Bro, only I have in my brain is my regret. Ain't no way they took the pole. No, I can't use that. No, I can't use what I used before. They're nasty. Everything is pro. Except these. Because I know that's not gonna use. It's all pro, yes. It's because Mr. Beast, bro. Mr. Beast did buy TikTok and that, not just TikTok, he bought CapCut. Fuck Mr. Beast. Middle finger in his ass. He took it away. Fuck Mr. Beast. See? So pro. Listen. This wasn't pro. It's not okay. I know it's not okay. Fuck Mr. Beast, bro. Middle finger in his ass cheeks, bro. I'm gonna send it to my friend. So when I send it to my friend, I'm gonna use my other phone to download that video and edit on this phone that I'm watching the chat on, and I can just edit it. You might not see the process, but you will know what's happening. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, you stupid bitch. Listen. I think CapCut made the other one. It's called Edit Me. Yeah. Bro, get rid of it. I don't want it, bro. Get the pro out of here, bro. I don't want pro. Leave the pro out of my ass cheeks. Wait. See what I mean? Everything is pro. One time it wasn't. I wish I can sue CapCut. Not just CapCut. I wish I can sue freaking Mr. Beast. I'm not joking. I want to sue him. His ugly ass, disgusting ass, bitch's ass, billionaire ass cheeks, bro. I know his freaking past, bro. Ain't no way he put everything on Pro. Now I have to like send it on my other phone just for me to like edit it. Everything is freaking on Pro. And hi Bubble. Should I call you just M? Because that's what your name was on Discord. So I'm just gonna call you M. So Riz, this is M. Oh no, you're frustrated. Yeah, because I am. Everything is a freaking Pro. Yeah, so everything is on freaking Pro. I had to pause the video or stream because I can't show my phone number. So wait. Okay, give me a second. Now I have to like add my best friend. Let me just see her phone number. I'm not gonna show it, of course. I'm just gonna ask. Oh, should I ask her to send me a message? I mean, I could do that. Let me ask her. I'm gonna call her real quick. Give me a second. I forgot I don't have. For some reason, I don't have credit. It hasn't been 100 days. 300 days, actually. Now I'm just gonna call her on WhatsApp. Let's see if she will answer. Login. Agree and continue. Why won't you let me stay logged in? Wait, let me exit. I don't want to show my phone number. Yes. Wait, I can just send her. Wait a minute. Weber. But I don't know why, but you're 2 years older than me. Yeah, because you're 11. Soon I will be 3 years older than you. BFF, okay, BFF, founder. Okay, calling her. I don't know, I forgot, but it will be very soon. Marija, može mi...
Zašto imaš Bela Wolf kao profilno?
Nemam pojma, ali može mi pošliš poruku na WhatsApp?
Zašto?
Samo pošalji da bi ja mogla da te nađem.
Ok. Čekaj. Neka
Ok, samo pošalji.
Ne znam sad ću. Kako ne znaš ko sam?
Zato što ja sam stavila na drugom telefonu WhatsApp i prike meni izlogala na ovaj tu telefon, pa samo želim da prebacim onaj video, ali na CapCutu je sve pro. Bez jednog razloga. Znači, prike neće da mi ostane free, zato što prike na drugom telefonu neće da ostane da imam pro. A na ovom imam pro. Hvala.
Ja sam poslala emoji, ladno.
Ok.
Se smeje sa Instant Face.
Čekaj. Sad moram da ti pošaljem video.
Ujebote.
Zato što moram da taj video da editujem. Ne znam da li sam poslala. Jesam poslala? Jesam. Ne diraj.
Jano, moram da idem u WC.
Ok, ajde, čao.
Ćao.
Now I can log in from there. Now I need a code. I can force. Continue. Such a SMR fun, brate. Let's do my phone again. I'm gonna go to my... I could use Snapchat. Hello. So smart. I have thought about Snapchat. It would be much faster process. Okay. My story. So I'm just gonna go see on my story. Yeah. So when it's like posting, I can just go on my other phone and take my snap. Y'all don't know, but I'm actually downloading it. Download. 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 I'm done. Now I'm just gonna go back and wait, because that's my thought process. And so I'm just gonna check out what y'all typing. So I'm just gonna lower the sound on 0 so I can hear none on this phone, because I'm going to YouTube. Okay. Okay. Weird. What's it? I don't know. Great. Me confused as hell. Wait a minute. Isn't the hair not supposed to go that way when you're running towards that way? It's supposed to go where the back is. It's not supposed to where to go the front. It's like going to your face when you run, and it's like. I wish I could just show what I'm doing, bro. It will be kind of funny. the explaining, bro. The explanation is just too hard, bro. Oh my god. Like. All I wanted was you. She used CapCut like me. Okay, now do I have? Yeah, I have Pro. completely. Somebody understood. So Vin is actually sad and depressed. So I was like commenting, I said it in the comments. I said in this like random TikTokers, I said like she was making about Vin. Like it says like Vin like was like upset and something like, you know? And I said he might be racist, but he is a kind guy from inside. But we should forgive him. And he just tried to be nice to us. But I think something is happening in his life to do this to him, and I forgive him. He might have a hard life and he might have his parents dead or divorced, and it depends on what happened to him. And I'm saying I'm just saying because it can be anything. I don't know his age, but I'm sure he's a kind guy. No one knows what he does to himself, and no one knows if he does self-harm, but my best friend does it. But we should be helping him. I am sure he needs it. I mean, I'm true about it. It's true. Everything is true. We should help that guy. Vin is pretty sure kind. Who knows? Never judge a book by its cover. I don't have the sound I need, do I? CapCut. If I don't, then I might as well just, I don't know, give up. It's already pissing me off. Already. No, not that, not that, not that, not that. No, 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 you're not, No, I didn't pick that. I didn't mean to pick that. I didn't mean to. Q. See what's pissing me off. I'm gonna freaking see. Let me hear it. I want to see how it sounds on this phone. Sounds normal. Okay. I'm happy. I'm happy. Now we're just gonna go to pull in. Actually, we're not gonna pull in. We're just gonna do like, I'm gonna go to CapCut and show you how it looks like. I'm gonna use this phone. We cover the front because you only need to look at the back. That was an accidental. Don't allow. Discard. Okay. You don't see that anyway. I got all what I need free. Okay. Just gonna do this. Let's see how it looks like. Ain't no way. It looks good, not gonna lie. Bro. See? I'm almost finished. Now we can just get rid of the sound. And I can just go on. Finish it. Finish her, bruh. Finish the fucking sound. Since we finished with that, we can just go on. Wait a minute, let me hear it for a second. Now we finished that, we can go make a sound. I just had to delete this because I don't need that. Now I can just take the thing I made. No, not that. So I'm just gonna put sounds together. That should do it. I'm gonna put it all the way to the back. Now we're gonna take Now I'm gonna take another one. There you go. Now I can just put them all together. Every single sound that I just made of this freaking video. Bruh, work as I want, bro. Now I can just pull this back. Oh, I'm almost. Oh, I sorry. Sorry. You're such a cute little kitten. Little cute kitten. Oh, you're such a cute little kitten. Oh, no, 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 no. Really, literally attaching the pieces that's missing. I'm gonna show it when it's finished by posting. Should I show it? I mean, it's not done, but I can show. It's not finished. It has more. It has more. More. I wanna beat the shit out of my phone, bro. I feel like I wanna beat somebody up, like by my fists. Like, so much frustration I have in my head, bro. Now I'm just gonna spawn it back. Now I'm gonna check it out, how it looks. Now I'm gonna check it out. Wait, shush. I'm gonna show it. Yeah, it's almost finished. Now I'm gonna put rainbow effect. Nightclub. So that's what it's called. And we just put on 50. Speed.
Dosta, jel si ti svestan da ja znam samo ovo, a ti nemaš blage veze? Oh, oh.
And then it's so basic. That's it. Now I'm gonna add more. It's not finished. Now that's finished. Now we're just gonna lower the sound. Ready? It's loading. It's freaking loading. Okay, ciao. Czekaj. No nie, ja cię lubię. Poop. Hidden. Watermark always hidden. Okay. I got 6 of this for what? Okay, this is her, but I don't know which would they people, but it's showing up, and some of them are showing like you know them, like when I don't know them. Weird. Okay, I'm gonna show it. It's not finished. Where'd the water go? I forgot water. Ain't no way. I'm not redoing it. I am not redoing it. You ain't seen me redo it. I'm not redoing it. Let's act there's water. Let's act like it dried up. Let's act like it's there in somewhere in the air. Let's act like it's somewhere. Let's act like there is one air. Bitch, how can you be so stupid? Fuck my life. Now let's save. Doo-doo. Let's give a little dancey dance. Chica, tupa mala. Ay, 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 ay. No. You. I want to give you so many kisses. You're so cute. Good little kitty. Good little kitty. Good boy. Good boy. But you're like a girl. I'm gonna call you what to level you. You're so adorable. There's more light in front of you than me. I'm really pale. This is the light side. This is the dark side. I have a pale skin. But I'm also strong. The scratch mark that she did on my hand, bro. It doesn't hurt. Does it hurt? No, it doesn't, but it's close to my vein, kind of. Let me just crack everything up. There you go. I got some crank hands. Since I'm finished with that, now we can just wait for this. Go away. I'm not falling for y'all. Listen. If somebody's poor, like, listen. If this one fix, like, listen. She's lying. Like, listen. Like, if somebody asks you to download the freaking app to get free laptop, and you're like going to the street acting sad, knowing they will probably come and cry about it and act like you download the app, but you didn't. When they ask you a question, where did you even download it? And they're like, it doesn't matter. It matters. It probably don't want you to download a freaking virus. It doesn't matter. That's what I don't understand, bro. Now let's check again. We're gonna check when I finish this. I hate you so much. Listen, I just do this. You don't have to use. You don't have to use this. Literally, you don't have to if you don't have Pro. You can just do that, and you just go to Basic, tap Reset, Confirm. Just tap Confirm. It should have just done this for some reason, but it's not doing what I wanted to do. So I'm just gonna do it by myself. It's supposed to do what I wanted to do, but it didn't. So let's just say it's like 384 type-ish. So what do you do next is don't do what I just don't put this at the front. You go all the way to the back, take this, put it to be on the front by overlay. When you take the overlay, you drag it over there all the way. Take away the sound from this video, and you tap this. Go to effects, tap this. Go to nightclub. I got everything free because I got, Pro. Of course. Now I'm just gonna go to save and look for blur. When I got blur, I always put it on a little low. I don't want it to be too blurry. I want it to be like this. So I can do whatever I want since I'm gonna put my logo. I'm gonna check on my phone if I do have the thing. No, do I have the logo maker? Probably not. Let me go install it on this phone so I can just make myself a logo. More logo maker. Wait a minute. Now I'm just gonna go create a logo. Let's see. I'm gonna type my name. Wait, what if I don't want it to be yellow? Image? Gallery? I'm gonna type it again. Alexa _060. I made a logo. Wait a minute. Looks kind of cute though. Let me just check what I have. I'm gonna add a little dog picture. Why not? A little doggy. A little doggy, bro. There you go. There you go. I have a dog picture. I'm gonna add it right there in the corner. Should I add it right? Actually, no. I'm gonna leave it like this. How about this logo? I like it so far. It's kind of like a pretty good logo. I won't lie. Now let's go to FX. No, I don't want that. No, I don't want it. Front, background. I'm gonna go to star. Texture. No, I don't want any texture. Image. Just gonna put
ali malo drugačije. Znači, pratiš samo mene. Znači, pratiš glavnog ludaka, razumeš? To ti je ono, gore nego ovdje imaš protiv pro playera.
So now I'm just gonna add is actually move this away, move this to the middle, and go to this and move it right over there. I mean, I like how it looks like. I mean, this could work. Or I can just do some other background. We could do square.
Ajde, lopti. Ja, neki slopovi, molotovi.
I can just, oh yeah, I can just get it a little closer. So I can just make a perfect one. And then I'm gonna take the name. No. No. Please don't ruin it. No. There you go. There you go. Now the name. This. How about this? This could work. As let me save it. Save image. Save design. I'm gonna save it as both. Save.
Emoji. AI emoji keyboard.
Can I change the fonts?
Jesi za mene. Posle idemo opet isto, ali sada mnogo drugačije. To, daj mi kombo, to je najbitnije.
Actually, it looks much better now. I'm saving it. Save image. Saving. Excellent. No, I'm not giving 5 stars. You can forget about it. I like the design. Should I do without that back one? I mean, I should. Probably. Should I get rid of the back? Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. background. Just gonna get rid of it. Save as, save image. Okay, now I can just go back where it came from. She lay down again, you bitch's ass. Bored as hell.
Kako mislite? Za koliko?
Now I'm just gonna check out what I was doing. Wait a minute. Yeah, there we go.
Oj, hello, čoveč. Brate, nikad mi neće ovaj nuskop sad kao Matthias. Malo ga pogledaj
Actually, I don't
dole,
like that one, but it
meta
looks
ode ka
cool
dole.
though.
Malo ga pogledaš ka dole, meta ode u zemlju. Malo ka gore, ode u plafon. Me and
Now we're gonna go to
igraj mi protiv, idem igraj protiv.
quality. Get a little lower. Now I can just show it again.
Pazi, nešto ima dingle. Des? Gde je?
See the logo? I already made a logo by myself.
Me and Green playing again. Beat.
But y'all didn't see? Okay, at least my face is not noticeable. I should wear a mask.
O, flash imaš, taman.
Actually, a pillow. A pillowcase. Since you can't see my eyes, you can't know where I'm looking. But I hate when it's purple. What I'm doing, I'm gonna finish it and post it. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, we'll see it after. There we go, it's finished. Now I'm just gonna, I don't like being called pretty because I know I'm not.
Why you buy a gun without armor?
She opened it.
Evo ću ja.
Now it's time to wait. Time to wait.
One be very low. Jak szok było, idemo rapet plaćamo.
Okay, now I'm just gonna type I'm gonna type gotcha.
Szok.
Gotcha and gotcha, bro. Paint
Szok.
X CapCut logo.
Eto, tek sneka, kako se zove. Auto,
2025. Please do not flop. Not my idea. It's not my idea. Remake of old trend. What should I else put? And my sub, and I'm gonna type sub. I'm gonna because I'm one of my because that girl is my subscriber.
Ela chega e desencana com passo bem suave, passo bem suave, passo bem suave, não cessa do fim de semana. Ela chega.
There we go. Bro, me though. We're just being sad.
Let's try eating bamboo. I heard bamboo was poisonous, so I'm not really sure
Bamboo? How do you eat bamboo?
which type this is and how it's edible, but I saw this at my local Asian supermarket, and apparently this is a bamboo sprout, so as soon as it grows, I guess that's the part that you cut off. No, you can't do that. That's way too rough. I'm assuming maybe the soft part here. So just think of unsweetened corn, like the corn that you get in the can, but it's also one thick piece. It's not little pieces of corn. So it's an interesting crunch. I honestly don't know how you would eat this. If you guys do cook with bamboo sprout, let me know in the comments. I'm assuming you could stir fry this in a veggie or rice dish. I'm gonna give this a 7.2 out of 10. Let's try eating bamboo. I heard
Oh yeah, well, if they quit, I'm happy as hell. Hospital Love Hotel. I'm gonna go and watch this. Oh my god. Slayer. I love these people, bro. Gay motherfuckers, bro. Konnichiwa. Oh, I don't know.
Alpha.
I finished. I'm finished, buddies. I'm gonna go, guys. I'm hungry. I gotta go eat. Oh, that's a big rub. I'm so hungry that it just said